Now remember your strength, your power. Take a weapon. Feel the weight in your hand. Now go, beyond the door. You need to see for yourself before I tell you more. You've been imprisoned in this mind trap by an entity called Keturah. Its magic is powerful, but you're stronger than you know. It may appear beautiful, but it's an illusion. A trap designed to control you. Keturah won't tolerate your resistance much longer.
Ha 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 ha! There is no escape. I will break you in time. Watch as I turn your own memories against you.
Defend yourself. In the mind trap, memories can kill you. Another one. Defend yourself and strike back. A magic user. Interrupt the spell and retaliate. Well done. With every memory that returns, your resistance grows stronger. Now follow me. I can't go any farther in this form. If Keturah notices me, we'll both be lost. You need to reach the tower to escape the mind trap. I can't go with you, but I'll send messages to guide you. Just believe in yourself and you can do this. You simply need to jump. The pearl! It's the key to escaping this mind trap! Destroy the pearl and wake up! Easy now. You did well. It gladdens my heart to see you awake and free, my friend. You're the first to respond to my help and escape from that entity's grasp. I am Oriandra, and I wear the cloak of the Psijic Order. I came to Summerset at the behest of our Rite Master when I sensed a dark and powerful mind magic emanating from this area. When I noticed your predicament, I knew I had to intercede. Take a moment to rest, but once you've shaken off any residual effects of the spell, I might require your assistance. And take this. I assume it belongs to you. It was near your unconscious body when I found you. I must return to the Eldbur ruins to the north and aid the others caught in Katora's mind trap. If you find yourself in the area, you might be able to assist me. Stay safe, and remember, you have a friend in the Psijic Order. I haven't isolated the source of the mind magic, except that the malevolent entity calls itself Katora. It imprisoned you in the mind trap in order to control you, but to what purpose I'm not sure. I have no idea. Whoever or whatever Katora is, it wields powerful mind magic. Much more powerful than anything I've ever encountered before. The mind trap is an insidious spell that has ensorcelled a number of victims. I'm still watching over them. You weren't the only newcomer to wander into this mind trap. Even a number of high elves have succumbed to the dark entity's power. With my help, though, you were the first to break free. That gives me hope that I can eventually save the others. You noticed that, did you? Very observant. The mind trap created replicas of items you already possessed. You needed them, so they became real inside the illusion. And of course, you'd still have them in the waking world. They are real, after all. The Psijic Order is an ancient society of mages, more akin to a monastic order than to the upstart Mages Guild, for example. We once served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel, before we departed the world to pursue other interests. It means just that. We took our island of Artaeum and sent it someplace else to better promote meditative study and contemplation. We maintain an interest in Tamriel, though, hence my appearance here during your time of need. I haven't isolated the source of the mind magic, except...
Let the cat fight those monsters! The island sprung a leak! Run! First, the Queen issues a decree that changes the status of Summerset from an isolated paradise into a tourist attraction. Now monsters, sea creatures, I've never seen anything like them. Well, I say let the cat fight them. Better him than me. Suddenly the ground opened, spewing water and strange creatures. They attacked us. Luckily, one of the newcomers, a Khajiit, leaped in and drove them back. Called himself Razumdar. He could probably use some help if you're so inclined.
Are those creatures newcomers? They're hideous!
Raz enjoys a good fight as much as the next cat, but these are horrible creatures. Five Claw, good to see you. Raz has a proposal if you have the time. Have you ever seen such creatures? Raz has not. Probably neither have you. You are a newcomer, yes? New to this island of high elves? This one has an eye for such things. And you look capable. So can Raz interest you in some cloak and dagger work? Ominous? No, nothing of the sort. Well, maybe a little of the sort. Depends on how things develop. Raz has come to Summerset at the behest of Queen Irene to make sure her decree regarding the opening of the island proceeds as she directed. Ask some questions, determine the mood in Shimmerin, and see how the newcomers are faring. Rumors have reached the Queen, and she is concerned. So Razumdar comes to see what is happening and fight strange creatures. Now Raz is concerned as well. While you ask questions around the city, Raz can take care of some other business. It may or may not involve scratching and clawing. Let's meet near the entrance to Shimmerin when you have something to report.
Find your own patch of beach. Not that you'd understand the concept, but the path to Alaxon requires dedication and complete concentration. I must find the perfect shells, or my pigments will be substandard. And do you know what that will do to my art? Exactly. An ultimate concept practiced widely here in Summerset. Alaxon is the state of perfection that every high elf strives for. The path to Alaxon represents the approach we take to achieve that state. Now, why have you interrupted my work? I believe in caution as much as the next high elf, but sometimes the rules get in the way of common sense. My apprentice lived here for more than a year. Good help is so hard to find, especially among the newcomers. And she was adept at making dyes. They took her away. Said they had to scrutinize her qualifications, test her knowledge of culture and etiquette. But I haven't seen her since. My work suffers, so of course I complained to the monks. Now I have to gather my own shells. They told me I could fill out... Not that you'd They took her away. They told me I could fill out some forms and appeal to the kin lady. But who has time for such bureaucracy? And for a wood elf? Perfection requires constant vigilance, so back to it.
newcomer in the warehouse district. Unusual, but how can I help you today, my friend? The Divine? Who told you that? If a Justiciar sent you to try and trick me into confessing... No. The High Elves would never send a newcomer to perform such a task. But I admit it. I made my thoughts known. I arranged to bring my cousin here to work with me. The ship arrived, but all the newcomers were carted away. For questioning, they said. I complained to the kin lady and anyone else who would listen. And what has it gotten me? Nothing. Oh, my family has been here for generations and generations. Before the Queen's decree, outsiders might have been rare, but we were not unheard of. Our business has grown and gets better every day. That's why I sent for my cousin. We need the help. Summerset is a rare and beautiful jewel in the Abetian Sea. I love it here. The High Elves treat us like children, but they have never been hostile. The Queen's decree has stirred the waters, though. I fear it will get worse before it gets better.
Well?
A fascinating application of the technique. Welcome. Are you here on Mages Guild business? Yes, of course. We're lawkeepers across the face of Tamriel. Guild members seek out books, tomes, and ancient scrolls in their travels. Why don't you speak with me for a moment? Perhaps you'd like to join. Always good to speak with another knowledge seeker. Guildmaster Vanus will be pleased. We're book hunters of a sort. We seek out new information, capture it in our libraries, and make copies for distribution across Tamriel. The Guild doesn't care about battlefields or boundaries. We provide training in unique spells and abilities only available to members. And from time to time, projects crop up for those with an adventuresome spirit. You may end up working with the Guildmaster himself. Excellent. You are now a student of the Mages Guild. Every book you find will now earn you reputation in the Guild.
This is unheard of! Why have you closed the monastery?
Good people, I hear your concerns.
But the workers I hired, they were aboard the ship from Rivenspire.
The kin lady and I, we have only your best interests in mind. Every guest must be sequestered while we ascertain their suitability for Altmer society.
The old dog's right! Lock up the newcomers!
Send the newcomers back where they came from! We don't want them here!
Such anger! Raz never expected to hear such words from the Queen's loyal subjects. The sentiment isn't universal, but enough feel this way for us to be concerned. Did you learn anything interesting from the people I sent you to talk to? Sequestered, Just a different word for imprisoned, yes. Ranul's cousin just arrived, but O'Newell's assistant has lived on Summerset since long before the Queen ever issued her decree. Raz intended no offense. Raz admires your enthusiasm, but
Mara, help me. Mara, help me find my son. An adventurer? Oh, praise you, Mara, for hearing my prayers. Please, newcomer, I'm desperate for help. My son, Arathel, has gone missing. No one will tell me what happened to him. Yes, I'm sorry. The last time I saw him, he was agitated, scared. I asked him what was wrong, but he left without a word. The guards arrived later. They said he turned himself in, that he was involved in a plot to kill our sapiarch, Icantar. No, he vanished. They say he escaped. Can you believe it? Why would he turn himself in only to escape a few hours later? They're hiding something, I know it. Please, Caraval, help me find my boy. He would never hurt anyone. I swear it. You have a perfect heart, newcomer. None of my neighbors would lift a finger to help me. The guards placed Arathel in a cell beneath the Kin Lady's manor. I'm told the Justiciar of Remand is there now, a mer named Telerion. He must know something. No, Icantar treats us like family. Arathel is Icantar's apprentice, you see? He was so proud when the attestation came through. He's been a bit withdrawn, though. I found some Aprax literature in his room. But it's just a phase, right? Right. You're new to the Isle. I apologize. Apraxic Mer are people who, for whatever reason, were expelled from the greater Elven community. Most Aprax labor for years to re-enter society. Others choose to remain in exile. I feel very sorry for them. Some do, yes. Treatises on class warfare, religious hypocrisy, that sort of thing. A lot of young Mer take a liking to it. I think it's healthy to push back a bit. Not too much, of course, but a bit. Rumor has it that a famous Aprax called the Mother of Rats lives in the city, but I've never met her. And even if I did, we're forbidden from speaking with her. Oh, that sounds awful, doesn't it? It's just the way things are here, I'm afraid.
You there! I have a... Damn it, why won't this work?
Did you see a golden knight?
I have no idea what that was, and I'm not sure I want to know.
This manor is closed by order of the Divine Prosecution, so I'll keep this brief. Who are you, and what do you want? Aye, Surabane's ring, will I never be rid of that hen? Look, turning away grieving mothers brings me no satisfaction, but this situation is delicate. The Divine Prosecution does not lose prisoners. Ever. Certainly not frightened children like Arathel. Not here, clearly. You really do mean to track him down, don't you? Fine. When we took Arathel into custody, he was only carrying a handful of coin, a tin flute, and some kind of crude map. Our draftsman drew up a few copies for distribution to the bailiffs. They're stacked upstairs near the hearth. You can take one if you wish, with this condition. If you find something, you will bring it to my attention immediately. So you would ask my name without offering your own? No, don't bother. I've grown to expect these clumsy troglodytic introductions. I am Talarian, Justiciar of Remand. I oversee all matters related to bonds and incarceration here in Shimmerine. Spilling wine on your vest at a dinner party is embarrassing. This is... frankly, there isn't a word in the common tongue for this. It is braxiferous. Disgraceful on a scale you outsiders can't even imagine. That's a matter for the High Justiciar and the Sapiarchs. My only concern is returning him to custody. And time is of the essence, so please, be on your way. It seems he escaped into the vaulted Halsoriel. The sewer. Gods, what a hideous word. Anyway, he had help. That gaping hole in the wall is obviously quite new. Might have been a conventional explosion or some kind of arcane rupture. We won't know until the Revelators examine the scene.
Queen Irene promised we'd fall in love with the sky and the sea. She said that her people would be kind and accepting. This one hasn't heard that many lies since she watched a performance by the House of Reveries. Sorry. Just feeling down. Ah, for that one you must go upstairs. The hooded man will have what you seek. Good luck, Walker.
I know it doesn't look like it, but I'm working. So, jog on. It didn't instruct you to do anything. That note was meant for someone else. Of course, You already know that. So, should I reach for my knife, or are we going to make nice? Huh. So, Talarian and his lackeys haven't found him either, huh? Color me surprised. I tried to help the kid, but if he didn't even find my note, he's in worse trouble than I thought. You carry yourself well. Maybe Mother can use you. Yeah, the Mother of Rats is our matriarch. She shelters us outcasts and misfits. Loves us, even. In her way. If you aim to help Arathel, she'll want to meet you first. There's an entrance to the sewers down by the docks. Just follow the rats. Name's Edgar Jend. Professional misfit, ne'er-do-well, and sometimes hatchet man. Mother sends me out to collect lost things. And people. I've got to tell you, this whole Arathel thing, it's giving me indigestion. I have a delicate constitution. That's a question for Mother. Speaking of which, you should be on your way.
Too sure about that Miralon guy yet. Thought we was after the Sapiarch. Not sure I signed up for this.
The Sapiarch will loosen his grip on us, or we will make him.
This is for the greater good. Just keep saying that.
One day we'll stick it to that Sapiarch.
Well, well. You made it. You'll forgive me if I don't stand to greet you. I have a thing about social niceties. My spies told me you were coming, but neglected to say why. You're a recent arrival to the Isle, yes? I'm intrigued. What brings you? Ah, Arathel, the reluctant idealist. Yes, I know a bit. He's a friend of ours. I heard he was in a spot of trouble, so I sent a few of my children to collect him. Unfortunately, he bumbled his way into a prison cell. That was ill-advised. We had nothing to do with it. That boy has run afoul of some very dangerous people, and they're not about to let him go. Arathel's a valuable commodity down here. He's young, impressionable, and most importantly, he has access to the Sapiarch. Well, he wasn't lying. A rival of mine, Miralon, swept Arathel away from us, lured him in with promises of adventure, convinced him that killing the Sapiarch would start a revolution. Of course, the boy got cold feet. Now they have him. No, but I know someone who does. I sent one of my children to keep an eye on Miralon's operation, a Khajiit named Zonhai. He'll know where the boy's kept. Explore the tunnels west of here. You'll find Zonhai, or more likely, he'll find you. I'm the mother of rats. You know that already. Are you looking for an autobiography or something? Speak plainly. That's fair, I guess. I'm what the Clods and the Kinhouses call an apraxic, an elf criminal. There are other high elf misfits called ousters, but the fortunes of an apraxic are a little more severe. I forged a document. Well, the ensuing dispute sent 43 myrrh to the funeral pyre. It was a patent of lineage, you see. Kinlords take that sort of thing very seriously. Insufferable. Anyway, they shattered my Callion, my praxic talisman, and sent me packing. For the most foolish reason of all, love. Hilarious, right? Anyway, everyone here knows my past, but they accept me as I am. They even look to me for leadership, as if they need it. Hierarchy's a bad joke, Karam. Remember that.
These potions really stink. Wonder what's in them.
Glad we finally got organized. Maybe now we'll...
like such a nice city above. Just not down here.
Not too sure about that Miralon guy yet.
One of your friends from Mother's Den?
All this work will be
Please,
worth it someday.
Please, be quick.
Zanhi does not wish to fight you, Walker. But he will if he must. You will speak your business, yes? If you were a friend to these Black Wake thugs, you would already know. This one will tell you what he found, but you must act quickly. Miralon plucked Arathel from his cell and brought him here. He means to bend the boy's mind, I think. He claimed the caverns ahead. But the way is guarded by more Blackwake warriors, and worse. This elf is more than he seems, Walker. He is a spellweaver who consorts with Daedra. If you aim to rescue Arathel, you will have to deal with Miralon. Miralon wields magics that Zanhi has never seen before. Spells that twist good elves' brains and make them dance to the caster's rhythm. Arathel refused to kill the Sepiarch, but this one thinks, given enough time, Miralon will make him do it.
Thought we was after the Sepiarch. Not sure I signed up for this.
Oh!
The Sepiarch will loosen his grip on us. We will make him.
So the Rat Queen sends her vermin to destroy me. Come then!
Don't hurt me! Wait, you're not one of them, are you? Sorry, as soon as I saw an opening, I took off running. I didn't even see that drop. Honestly, I'm lucky to be alive. For the moment, at least. My mother is going to kill me. Oh, that's two mothers that will want my head. All right, I'll follow, at a distance. I've had enough excitement for one lifetime.
This is for the greater
Smells
good.
worse than a
Just
rift in
keep saying
tavern
that.
here.
Mother!
Easy, guardsmen. This boy's under our protection.
All of you, quiet! Have a word with our mutual friend, Talarian. If you want the truth, that is.
So, it's you. When you didn't return, I assumed you had abandoned your search. What are you doing here? Ah, the oft-used "a wizard made me do it" defense. It's an excuse I've heard before. Many, many times. Do you have proof, or is this all fanciful conjecture? It seems this Miralon played a role in a much wider conspiracy. Troubling. I will take this to my superiors. As for the boy, he can go free. For now. A word of advice. Avoid these urchins and apraxics. They are nothing but trouble.
So, you found our lost sheep. Well done. As you can see, I sent for Arathel's mother. She won't speak to me, of course, but she seems appreciative enough. Perhaps this will be a teachable moment for the both of them. One can hope, I suppose. Difficult to say. The fact that he's been fraternizing with Apraxics won't reflect well on him. But at least you proved he's not a murderer. That's something, right? You've done far more than rescue a stray high elf, Karam. Take this, and my thanks.
Take notice, sewer dwellers. I know where you are. Keep your affairs in order, or our next encounter will be far less pleasant.
Thank you so much for finding Arathel. Bless you.
Oh, I think I might want to be an adventurer too.
No, you've had quite enough adventure for one lifetime. All this work will be worth it someday, I hope.
Next time I'm in the field, I think I'll bring a great warhammer. Or two. Welcome to our hall. Are you familiar with the guild? The Fighters Guild. You should consider joining up. We have a new guildmaster and a new singular purpose. Why don't we talk for a moment? Excellent. I know we'll all be drawing blades together soon enough. Now, what can I tell you? Right. Our new guildmaster is an Argonian, sees all colors. She has us all hunting down the Daedra and their damned anchors. You might have seen them. Enormous chains, plagues of Daedra boil out to lay waste to the countryside. Hard fights. Guildmaster Jofnir passed away recently, very suddenly. I always thought he'd die with a blade in his hand. But he passed away in his sleep, called to Sovngarde by his ancestors. We all miss him, but Colors has proven to be a very able leader. No, we only draw blades in service to the guild. We're technically neutral in the war between the three alliances. We love the Eagle Banner and Her Majesty, of course, but every race, every creed belongs under the guild hall's roof. Then let me be the first to officially welcome you as an associate of the Fighters Guild. Get out there and take the fight to the Daedra.
Raz owes you for that game of cards and has come to pay.
Well, I don't recall any... You say I won some gold?
Don't you remember? Raz always pays his debts, and he always buys the drinks.
Gold and drinks? Well, my relief should be along soon, so why not?
No, not now, please. Your spiritual well-being can wait until after my nap. You'll have to ask one of the monks that the new Aldork brought with him. They deal with all the newcomer testing and evaluations. I'm just a simple monk trying to catch up on my sleep. That was a hint, by the way. Again with the questions about the newcomers. Why do you care about the complexities of Altma bureaucracy? Still, if I had to make a guess, I'd say they were taking into the Undercroft for registration and processing. Now go away. The monastery should be a place of peace and meditation. The Aldork has closed us down until further notice. That means if any of the monks spot you, they'll raise the alarm. Me? I never saw you. Now, if you don't mind, my nap awaits.
Office, wouldn't you agree? I noticed you skulking around while I was engaged in some skulking of my own. I suppose we both came to the monastery with a similar purpose in mind. The sequestered newcomers. I came to find out what happened to a friend. I assume that's what brought you here as well? A house of worship shouldn't be used as an internment camp, and it shouldn't be locked to the public either. Interesting. I've never seen anything quite like it. I find it intriguing and a bit disturbing. But we aren't here to discuss curios. Strange creatures notwithstanding, we need to find out what's happening with the missing newcomers. The sentry doesn't appear to have stopped you, so I could ask you the same question. Let's just agree that we both have our methods. Curious, but I feel that there's more going on in Shimmerine than the usual politics and community relations. That's the question, my cautious friend. We have a newly appointed Aldork and a disgruntled kin lady, both opposed to the Queen's decree. What's their connection to the missing newcomers? I was about to explore the Undercroft. Care to join me? A curious pearl. I wonder where the Aldork acquired it. Probably not important. I'll meet you in the Undercroft, and we can see what's going on with the newcomers. Something's wrong down here. I sense magic. Vile magic. Cages? These people did nothing to deserve such treatment. There's someone alive over there. See if you can help her.
Thank the divines! You aren't one of the monks. Please, let me out of here. It's a nightmare. We came to Summerset to seek new opportunities. We barely stepped off the ship when they marched us to the monastery. Instead of questioning us or the usual high elf bureaucracy, they locked us in these cages. The monks gathered them a few moments ago and took them through the door on the far side of the chamber. Please, let me out of here before they take me away like the others.
Is that a scoffin? A Daedra. Here? And that's a scoffin, if I remember my Daedric recitations correctly. Very curious. An excellent question, and one I hope to find the answer to. From the evidence before us, it appears this Nord killed the scoffin before he succumbed to his own wounds. Good for him. I found this key on the creature's belt, so we can open that door. Then I suggest we pick up the pace. We need to determine what's actually happening down here, and who's behind all this. Without answers to those questions, we won't be able to decide on our best course of action. I'll explain everything later. For now, we need to hurry.
More newcomers? Unfortunately, the magic only affects those who have been prepared. But never fear.
Daedric cultists?
Your turn will come.
I'll deal with the pearl. You hold off these creatures. The pearl's magic attracts these creatures. Hold them off while I complete my spell. Come on, let's talk outside. Those poor people. This wasn't just about newcomers and opposing the Queen's decree. That was Daedric magic back there. I just wish we had arrived a few moments earlier. I promised to explain what I know. I suppose that now's as good a time as any. I'm a member of the Psijic Order. Our Rite Master sent me to investigate a warning we received about a plot involving Summerset. My inquiries led me here. Oriandra is indeed a member of our ancient monastic society. We once served as advisors to the rulers of Tamriel. But that was before we removed our island home from the world. Now this threat has drawn us back. But why are you involved in all this? An Eye of the Queen? Interesting. I diffused the Daedric magic and transported the pearl to Artaeum, the Psijic island for safekeeping and study, so we can learn more about it. But we can discuss this further once we get out of here.
end well for you.
Living on Artaeum for a few centuries doesn't prepare you for physical activity. Let the Eye of the Queen know what we discovered, and I'll catch up with you later.
Ah, this one's new partner returns. What interesting scandal did you uncover in the monastery? Tell Raz every juicy detail. That isn't the kind of scandal Raz was hoping for. Murder, Daedric rituals, and traitorous behavior have a way of ruining an otherwise perfect day. We need to learn the extent of the Kin Lady's involvement, and by we, Raz means you. Accuse? Not exactly. Raz wants you to talk to her, see what she knows about the Oldark. The Kin Lady is meeting with local leaders. Attend that meeting and learn the truth. This invitation and set of elegant clothes will get you through the door. A Sijik? Raz has heard rumors, but there are always rumors about the Sijiks. For an island of sages who disappeared more than 300 years ago, they certainly seem to get around. Did this Sijik mage say what the Order was investigating? There was a life-sucking pearl. You should probably have led with that bit of information. Well, we can worry about the Sijik mage and figure out where these pearls came from later. For now, go see what the Kin Lady has to say. Kin Lady Avanice and Raz do not get along. You see, there was a horse, a platter of pudding tarts, and... No. This one won't bore you with the sordid details. Besides, everyone behaves well when they see Raz. You will learn more than I would.
Yes? And who might you be? The kin lady is currently engaged. She's holding a conference with Shimmerine's elite to discuss certain political matters. Yes. So you do. And may I say that your outfit is suitably elegant. Please, head into the garden.
We all have concerns regarding the Queen's decree. I assure you that I am working with Aloittakaamme to safeguard the sanctity of Shimmerine and all of Summerset. Enjoy the food and drink. Business of the city requires my attention, but I shall rejoin you shortly. Not so much as a by your leave. No, I refuse to deal with one of the Queen's guests, especially not in my own home. How did you get in here, by the way? No, never mind that. Since you found your way in, I assume you can find your way back out, before I call the guards. Such innocence. You really want to know why I oppose the Queen's order to allow newcomers to enter Summerset? Because I'm trying to protect both the island and the newcomers. It's in everyone's best interest that we maintain a separation. Aloittakaamme came highly recommended. He has grand plans for protecting Shimmerine. Grand plans. Unfortunately, in my haste to deal with the Queen's decree, I may have made an error in judgment. Not that it's any concern of yours, but my Chancellor has been unable to verify the Aloittak's existence prior to when we met, and I recommended him for the position at the monastery. I assure you, Kin Lord Millenthal praised Tilkala to no end. That's preposterous! Aloittakaamme sequesters the newcomers to ascertain their suitability for life in Summerset. Those who pass will find a place here. As for the rest, they'll be returned to wherever they came from. That's what we agreed to.
My lady, one of the monks said to deliver this message. It's from the Aloittak himself.
The Coral Forest. An odd location for a meeting, but I need to hear the Aloittak's explanation.
Pretend you are adjusting your boot or admiring the architecture. As hard as it may be, look anywhere but directly at Raz. Good, good. Now, tell Raz what you learned at the King Lady's manor. Raz thinks Avanis is as naive as she is complicit, but she is not a murderer. The Coral Forest? A strange meeting place. Raz thinks we should go and see what the old Ark is up to. After I take back that outfit, I might need it again later. Ah, you have a pretty admirer, my friend. The Sijic sage, yes? Here she comes now.
I'm glad I found you. While watching the King Lady's mansion, I saw her ladyship sneak out the back and leave the city.
The King Lady is meeting the Old Ark in the Coral Forest. Raz smells something, and it isn't moon sugar biscuits.
Your reputation precedes you, Eye of the Queen. I am Valcerin of the Sijic Order, and I agree that the Aldark is more than a simple monk.
We should work together, yes? But let's travel separately to avoid attracting unwanted attention. Raz will find you both at the Coral Forest.
One of Somerset's more unique environments, the Coral Forest. I used to love coming here when I was growing up. We need to find out why the Aldark asked King Lady Avanis to meet him out here. Based on what we saw on the monastery's undercroft, I'm hesitant to use magic to locate them. I suppose we'll have to find them through mundane means. Too bad the Queen's spy isn't here yet. I understand he's good at this sort of thing.
Of the plan, you fool. Let me give you a taste of what the Prince of Bargains has in store for this pitiful world.
Your prince! I want no part of Daedra! Help!
Come, Nebara! Let me show you the power. Yagra, destroy these fools!
Razumdar apprehended the kin lady. They're at the west edge of the Coral Forest. What happened to Uldar Tilkalar? Did he escape? I think we can conclude that Tilkalar wasn't actually an Uldark. At least, not with his connection to the Prince of Bargain's Clavicus Vial. Strange magic and creatures worry me, however. Hopefully the pearl I sent to Artaeum can tell us more. You'd be surprised what a particular object can reveal if you know how to unlock its secrets. I need to return and tell Rightmaster Ikesis all that transpired here. If you're willing, I'd like you to come to Artaeum and confirm my story. The Rightmaster leads the Sijic Order from Kapora Tower on the island of Artaeum. This spell attunes you to a portal near Shimmerine in the ruins of the Keep of 11 Forces. It always leads to Artaeum, no matter the island's current location. One more adjustment and there! You are now attuned. Find me on Artaeum after you finish with the Eye of the Queen.
Ah, Five Claw. The Kin Lady and Raz had the most illuminating conversation.
You can't treat me like
Queen Irene will be disappointed that the Kin Lady of Shimmerine allowed a false Uldar to murder so many newcomers. Such a scandal makes other travelers uneasy about coming here, yes? The Prince of Bargains. That could only be Clavicus Vial. What oblivion-inspired nest of vipers has Raz stumbled into? This one has a very bad feeling about all of this. Where is the Sijic sage? Raz would like to ask her what she thinks. The Sijic Order's interest in all of this concerns Razumdar. This one has never had much love of magic or those that practice the art. On the other hand, now Raz has his own person on the inside. An Eye of Raz, if you will, yes? Then you must go to Artaeum and discover what the Sijics have learned. When you return, you can tell Raz all about it so he can pass it along to the Queen. Yes, Raz likes this plan. In the meantime, Raz will investigate the Daedric connection.
Have you come to gloat? To kick me while I wallow in my own misery? Well, go ahead. I deserve it. I met him at Kinlord Millenthal's party in Eleanor. We had similar ideas about the Queen's decree, and I recommended that he lead the monastery. Summerset isn't a stew pot, and the various races aren't ingredients to be sprinkled in like so much spice. What a hateful accusation! Tilkala told me he was going to send them back where they came from. I had no idea he planned to kill them. I give you my word. I just wanted the newcomers to go away. And to find out he worshipped Daedra? How crude. I certainly hope not. We'll have to get the Divine Prosecution in there to gather up the monks Tilkala brought with him to Shimmerine. We can't have Daedric cultists desecrating a holy site. I suppose I need to beg for mercy from the Proxy Queen.
Strange news.
The coral...
Don't be offended. He hates everyone.
corpora tower truly is a sight to behold, isn't it? I've actually done quite a bit of research on its origins, if you have any questions. Functionally, the corpora tower serves as the Psijic Order's central location for both research and meditation. Directly beneath it lies the Dreaming Cave. Even now, little is known about its origins. Simply put, it's a portal to oblivion. It's thought to be able to enter into any realm, though of course that theory hasn't been fully tested. The Psijic Order only uses the Dreaming Cave in times of great need. Though it may be hard to tell at first glance, the architecture of the tower doesn't quite match. This is because my order did not build the base structure. The bottom of the tower was already here when Artaeum was first discovered. We're simply not sure. It must be ancient beings, of course, but it doesn't seem to match any other runes found within Summerset. There are many speculations, but no direct answers, I'm afraid.
And there was no sign of Lathan. I don't know whether to be grateful or concerned.
We'll find him, Val. Now go check on the Pearl while I speak to our new guest. What a rare honor Valcerin bestowed upon you. Only a select few not of our order have ever walked upon this sacred island. Val tells me your aid was indispensable in uncovering the false Aldarch's plot on Summerset. Unfortunate, certainly. The magic you describe sounds familiar, though I can't quite recall where I've heard of it before. I fear the pearls may be a harbinger of the threat Sothasil warned us about. Sothasil, one of the living gods of the Dark Elf Tribunal. He's an honorary member of our order. After an attack on his Clockwork City, he warned us about a Daedric threat to Summerset and Artaeum. I sent Valcerin to investigate. Indeed, but not until we finish studying the Pearl Valcerin brought us. There are mysteries to unravel, and Val believes you will be instrumental to our success. We can get started immediately, unless you want to explore our island first. The next step involves a thorough examination of the strange pearl you and Valcerin recovered from beneath the Shimmerine Monastery. Hopefully, we can learn more about the false Aldarch and the source of the pearl's magic. We are the Psijic Order, friend of Valcerin. There is very little we cannot accomplish through the application of the old ways. Every object remembers its history. The trick involves selecting the correct ritual to reveal those buried memories. While I head inside to begin the augury ritual, I'd like you to go to Sothasil's study in the tower, find my acolyte, Oriandra, and ask her for Sothasil's amplification elixir. We may need it if the pearl proves to be resistant to our magic.
Friend of Valcerin, I have a proposal for you. Tranquil greetings, Caraval. You will forgive me if I seem awkward. We rarely entertain guests here on Artaeum. I am Kelleris. Right Master Ichesis told me a great deal about you. I suspect he has plans for you within the Psijic Order. The Right Master holds you in high regard. That is proof enough of your worthiness. The Psijic Order requires practical wisdom, outside perspective. Unless I miss my guess, you can provide both. You would be a worthy addition to our ranks. Eager to begin? Good. Eagerness is just what we need. Your first lesson begins now. The Order has detected a number of irregularities on Tamriel. Small breaches in the fabric of time. I would like you to seal them for me. The first cluster of time breaches appeared on the Isle of Summerset. You should start there. Go speak with my apprentice, Josaja, in the Athenaeum. She will provide the tools you need, a map, Psijic seals, and the Augur of the Obscure. I serve as the Chief Law Master here on Artaeum, a grand title for a modest pursuit, truth be told. I protect and maintain our various libraries and archives, safeguard the details of our Order's history, that sort of thing. 863 at last count, not including the Right Master's personal collection, of course. Don't trouble yourself looking for them. Many of them exist in quasi-planes and hermetic mind spheres. It helps keep things tidy. Comparatively, yes. Many of my peers spend their days examining the nature of reconstituted souls and studying Etata dream residue. Still, I love my work. It also affords me the opportunity to spend time with our initiates. Of sorts. I educate students on the importance of compassion, discipline, objectivity, and the like. Our Order's chief virtues. It can be very rewarding, provided the students take such lessons to heart. I am confident you will be such a student.
Yes, can I help you? Right. You're the Order's new initiate. I didn't expect you so soon. Things here on Artaeum are normally, you know, snailish. I transcribed our seer's visions onto the map there, and collected these Psijic seals. The Augur, however... I don't. Please don't tell the Lore Master. It tricked me into dismissing the binding charms that keep it here, in the Athenaeum. Then it popped like a bubble and vanished. It escaped before, but never on my watch. Mercifully, yes. I just scried its location. It looks like it reappeared somewhere on the shores of Wasting Coraldale. It didn't take long for some sea elves to scoop it up and squirrel it away. You'll have to steal it back. I am sorry, truly. I'm indebted. You'll definitely need the Augur on your quest. Without it, you'll never find those time breaches.
I knew it the moment we met back at the ruins. I sensed there was something special about you. The fact that Valcerin hasn't stopped talking about you just confirms my original assessment. I'm glad I was able to help you escape that mind trap. That strange pearl has certainly been reluctant to reveal its secrets. The Right Master hates it when an inanimate object refuses to cooperate. Regarding the amplification elixir, I just cataloged it. It's a Sotha seal creation, as you'd expect. What? No, not in the traditional sense. He's not one of our monks, if that's what you're asking. More like an honorary member, I guess you'd say. According to my records, the silver vial should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valcerin's transference spell, the Right Master gathered the Conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Right Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides, such a complex ritual requires the power of the conclave of the 11 forces. I'm not that strong yet. Under the Rite Master's tutelage, I expect to attain that rank. One day. I'm not allowed to reveal where you are, or how our magic works, other than to tell you that you have arrived upon the fabled island of the Psijic Order, Artaeum. While we're not currently part of Nirn's reality, we still keep track of events there. I could say we have our ways and leave it at that, but you deserve a better explanation. The Rite Master sends Psijics back to the world to perform tasks and gather information. Plus, we have powerful scrying magic that reveals all sorts of details. Despite opinions to the contrary, being an Altmer isn't a prerequisite for membership in the Psijic Order. The Rite Master noticed my potential and invited me to join. I had a year to consider the offer, but I made my decision immediately. I was examining the vial of amplification elixir myself just a short time ago. It should be right over there. As soon as the pearl arrived via Valserin's transference spell, the Rite Master gathered the conclave to prepare an augury ritual. He's been cycling sages through to keep them fresh, while slowly increasing the intensity of the ritual. I'm the Rite Master's acolyte. I have other duties to perform. Besides,
Was Oriandra able to direct you to the proper elixir? Without something to amplify the magic, our ritual is going to fail. Just in time. For the next stage of the ritual, if you have no objections, I'd like you to join us. Your experiences alongside Valserin might help reveal what has so far eluded our efforts. We'll handle the magic. You pour the elixir into the scrying pool and stand close. As the ritual's power amplifies, your experiences with the Pearl and the false Aldark should help the augury do its job. We want to discover the origin of the Pearl and its strange magic. In addition, anything we can learn about the false Aldark and his connection to the Pearl would be helpful. Otherwise, we're stepping blindly into Oblivion's maw here. Pour the elixir into the pool. That should provide the final boost we need to trigger the augury.
Here we stand, the most favored servants of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal, on the verge of the greatest victory for our princes.
Are you sure those creatures can be trusted?
Have no fear. Isn't that why we formed the Court of Bedlam? Besides, what happens next in Relenthiel will seal Summerset's fate.
That was unnerving. It seems the false Aldark belonged to an alliance of Daedric cultists called the Court of Bedlam. Imagine, the faithful of Clavicus Vile, Mephala, and Nocturnal working together. This is more serious than I anticipated. No, but I'm hardly an expert on the Daedric cults of Tamriel. The magic I sensed in the Pearl, though, it doesn't contain the taint of Oblivion. We're missing something, but what? I suppose we'll need to find out what's going on in Relenthiel. I hoped you'd say that. Relenthiel sits to the west of Shimmerine, just across the mountains. I'll send Valserin with you to talk to the Cannon Reeve. The false Aldark may be dead, but Mephala's and Nocturnal's agents remain, as well as the Pearls. I may not be a natural prognosticator, but I had a feeling you might. Go ahead. I'll answer what I can. The augury ritual extracted a vision of the false Aldark and the Court of Bedlam, but nothing specifically about the Pearl. Its magic isn't Daedric, though. How they can steal life energy and use it to summon those sea creatures remains a mystery.
Seeking a sip of fine Russefeld red? Prepare for disappointment. Headed to the famed Russefeld winery, traveler? Well then, it seems I'm not the only one who'll be disappointed today. Old Hallimorian's been offed by those wood elves. Won't be any wine tastings for a while, I'd wager. Just what I heard from one of the bailiffs. Apparently, some daffy Bosmer called the Ghost of the Green did it, but no one knows for sure. The investigation's hit a snag. Something about the rule of 3. Superstitious nonsense, if you ask me. Indeed. Until they find a suitable third investigator, the Juris Reeves and Revelators are left to sit on their hands. Nonsense. Why not go lend them a hand? They'll likely just tell you to go jump into the sea, but it can't hurt to ask.
An examiner's quorum needs 3 members. You both know this.
Not this again.
It's not just superstition, Soraville. We need outside perspective.
So, what? We just randomly recruit the next adventurer that passes by?
And just like that, Auriel provides. Greetings, Caraval. I am Chief Juris Reeve Tarnamir of the Divine Prosecution. Or at least I was, in the long ago. I know this is unorthodox, but perhaps you'd be interested in helping us. As you can see, a murder took place here. My protégés, Lorne and Soraville, came to investigate, but I fear they may lack perspective. The particulars of this murder... Forgive me, I'm getting ahead of myself. They need fresh eyes. Yours, I believe. You would take on the duties of the Adminan, the listening eye. An auspicious role. The Adminan serves as the fulcrum, balancing competing theories. They also collect evidence, interview suspects and the like. What do you say? I thank the Divines that you've agreed to help. This murder weighs heavy on all of us. The victim, Hallimorian, was not well liked. Many locals may lift a glass to his passing. But the assassin, the Ghost of the Green, that's altogether different. Better to ask Lorne about it. Capturing the ghost was her obsession for a time. The fact that he's returned does not sit well with her. I can say no more. I don't want to prejudice your impressions. The Adminan should bring a fresh perspective. They're the most gifted investigators I've ever trained. Soraville has keen eyes and solid instincts when it comes to reading people. Good at finding pressure points, you know? As for Lorne, she has a mind like a dwarven puzzle box. For Lorne, logic is an art. She's clinical in her sensibilities, precise. Many of us have come to rely on magical inquiry to solve crimes. She relies on her wits and intuition instead. Of course, this case presents unique challenges. Lorne and Soraville drifted apart shortly after they caught the original Ghost of the Green. It's a complicated matter, and not my story to tell. Suffice it to say, this case cuts deep, and Lorne seems distracted. I hope you can help her keep her wits. As I said, was the Chief Inquisitor for the Divine Prosecution's Hindelatus wing, the division charged with solving adoctrinal crimes. Forgive me, it's a mouthful for newcomers, I know. I retired here to Russefeld a few decades ago. Well, I own the land, so in some ways I have even greater authority than I did as Chief Inquisitor. I still enjoy a bit of clout, too. Real leadership doesn't rely on titles, Kerem. Not a popular opinion here in Somerset, but true nonetheless.
So you'll be joining us. Good. Call me Lorne. No need for flowery titles. We Altmer have too many names already. I'm glad you're here. Outsiders often make the best adminins. A fresh pair of eyes will be essential here. More essential than usual. It's a long and depressing story. One I'm not keen to recount. For now, just know that whoever murdered Halimorian took great pains to make it look like the work of the Ghost of the Green. A killer that Somerville and I apprehended decades ago. The Ghost always left a signature to let us know it was him. He killed each victim with a single wood elf arrow to the heart, then laid a fern over the body. The fern is here, but the shot was sloppy, and the arrow is of high elven make. It's odd. I need to examine the body in more detail. Can you do a sweep of the vineyard? If you find anything, blow this whistle. It also might be worth questioning people in town. They'll be more forthcoming with an outsider.
Ah! You come to babble with Babblebrook? When came the killers? I had a look. Babblebrook knows what Babblebrook sings. Why can't you make sense of things? A ghost did bring the vintner's end, but even wraiths can have a friend. Don't you see? Death comes in twos. Friends and killers both win and lose. Killers and killed are two, it's true. So near, the source of fear. But Babblebrook babbles too long, it seems. Best make haste, or we'll hear more screams. Ah! You come to babble with Babblebrook?
Another body. Delightful.
Oh dear. Blood on her hands and blouse. But no slashing wounds. This doesn't fit the pattern. The ghost always kills with a bow. This was spur of the moment. Unexpected. Maybe she fought back.
Why do you insist on puzzling these things over like an femme? You know the death memory ritual. It's a simple...
Enough, Somerville. You know that's forbidden. Admin, look around and see if you can find the source of this blood.
I could use a break.
You found something? So did I. It looks like Fariel was strangled, not stabbed. This blood must be the attacker's. A sickle? Blood on the blade. She must have used it to defend herself. Then the attacker hid it. This blood could be the key. I intend to, yes. I'm a fair hand at alchemy. You'd be surprised how useful it can be in my line of work. I've caught more killers with flasks and alembics than I have with any sword. My husband used to say Sorry. I suppose it's past time I told you. The ghost murdered 17 people before we caught him. His last victim was my husband. Somerville's wife committed suicide when she heard the news. They were having an affair, you see. It was a difficult time. It's fine, Now you see why we needed a neutral party. Enough. Let's get back on task. I'd like you to search Halamorian's villa. It's just southwest of here. He was unpopular. If we can find out why, we might be able to establish motive. Sorry, I don't mean to be checking up on you. I just think better when I walk. And the blood is still simmering in the alembic. It will be some time before I have the results. Did you find anything of use in Halamorian's villa? From what I hear, the accusations are almost certainly true. So, Halamorian was making unwanted advances. Of course. The original ghost murder spree started with a high elf farmer who took liberties with his boss-mer laborers. We never published the details of that investigation. It can't be a coincidence. This new ghost must be someone in the know. Someone close. None that I'm keen to share, not yet anyway. For now, let's go with what we know. The Wood Elves have motive. Soraville went down to the cottage east of here to look around. Meet him there, and see if you can shake anything loose. I have to think.
I assure you, Chief, it would bring me no joy to unleash our revelators on your new home, but I'll have to unless you let us take a look around.
Fine, but just one of you, your partner. Do your work, then leave us in peace.
One, then. I'll be sure to report your compliance to the divine prosecution.
Like we have a choice in the matter. Come, join me for a meal. Meat's fresh enough.
Delightful. I suppose I'll stay here to break bread with the Chief while you have a look around. Not the way I wanted things to go, but we will simply have to adapt. Anything at all that could link this clan, or one of its members, to the murders of Halamorian or Fariel. None of these wood elves held Halamorian in high regard. We just need to find out if that enmity led to murder. Operate under the assumption that the killer was here, or still could be. Question everything you see and hear, and look out for any overt or subtle references to the Ghost of the Green.
Who are you? Are you with the Divine Prosecution? My husband warned me you might come poking round. Halamorian hated us. He abused our children and tried to drive us off. Of course the High Elves would suspect us. And our son Kellan, he... Never mind, please just go. We don't want any trouble. We just want to live here in peace. You really just want to keep him safe? Well, I'm not supposed to say this, but Kellan has been going on about the Ghost of the Green for weeks now. You know boys and their masked heroes. I didn't think there was any harm in it. But now... No, of course not. He's a good boy. I only mean that it could look suspicious because of his interest in those old legends. Besides, didn't the Ghost of the Green run around in a mad hunter's costume? Where would my son get something like that? Yes, I'm sure. Look, you're free to look around. Just try to... We're simple men, we don't have much. Halamorian may have been a cruel bigot, but none of us would ever murder him for it, I swear.
I must finish this.
Bosmer cuisine is truly revolting. I bought us as much time as I could. I hope you found something useful. A shrine? There's an old shrine to Ifre west of here, the Red Temple. But from what Tarnamir told me, people rarely visit. Filled with wild animals or some such. I only know of one entrance, a cave nearby. Follow me. We should split up. Don't want this little scamp slipping out behind us. I can handle this gap easily. You search the other hall.
I just can't anymore. I'm not a killer. I only wanted to protect Farrell.
We could have worked such terrible wonders together. Pathetic. You, though, you're perfect. Tell Lorne her past is hunting her present. Yes, tell her that.
What's happening? Am I... The ghost recruited me, said he needed me. He gave me the costume, told me to kill as he would. Halamorian hated us, was going to kill us. I know it, after what he did to Farrell. Farrell is dead. Oh, Divines, you've cursed me, haven't you? I only shot Halamorian, I swear it. Farrell was so kind. I wanted Halamorian to pay. I thought the Ghost of the Green was a hero. I wanted people to see me that way. Never saw his face. He never said his name. I didn't need to know. I read the stories. I believed in him, and he saw something in me. I never... Mother... I'm sorry. Someone would only help.
I was too slow. Damned Mer slipped right past me. Tall for a wood elf, and quick as a spooked hare. So, it really is the chief's son. Wait, what? What do you mean, another ghost of the green? The journal you showed me... Did Kellan kill Halamorian or not? What about the wood elf girl, Fariel? Did he kill her too? Yes. Show her the arrow immediately. Perhaps she can compare Kellan's blood to the blood on Fariel's sickle. At the very least, we'll be able to determine if Kellan killed Fariel. I'll be along as soon as I'm able.
You're back, and not a moment too soon. Do you have something for me? A second ghost. I suspected as much. And he killed this Kellan with that arrow? Another high elf hunting arrow, like the one that killed Halamorian. Kellan had motive. This second ghost provided the costume, the weaponry. But why? So, this isn't about Halamorian. It isn't about the Wood Elves or Altmer prejudiced. It's about me. It's always been about me. I knew it. I knew this was too convenient. I also knew the Mer who killed Faril couldn't be this Kellan. I just finished experimenting on the blood from Faril's sickle. It was Altmer blood. This second ghost isn't some wood elf zealot. He's a high elf like me. I moved the bodies to Tarnamir's manor. We should... maybe we missed something. What? This place has been... What happened here? Oh no. No. Tarnamir? Tarnamir, are you here? Tarnamir? No. I can't. You found something? This is a message. Everything in this room. It's all meant to tell us something. What's that on the wall? Elevane is another name for the Heeless Owl. Elevanes lay their eggs, then abandon them. We use that word to describe people who are cold-hearted or aloof. And then there's the bodies. Arranged to mimic Mara's cross. This is about love. Intimacy. Or more likely, someone I failed to love. There's only one suspect left. A Mer with means, motive, and deep understanding of the ghost of the green. No, it can't be. The ghost of the green ruined Sorville's life, just as he ruined mine. If not for the ghost, Sorville's wife would likely still be alive. I have to know. I'm sorry for what you're about to see. Auriel, forgive me. Stand back, and I'll show you. You already saw how Kellan died. Now, we'll see the others.
What's this? A tiny ghost of a green? Ha! Run along, well, before...
What have I done?
Kellan definitely killed Halamorian. Now, Faril.
Who are you?
I'm afraid you've seen too much. You poor thing.
Sorville was observing Kellan when Faril saw him. She slashed him with her sickle before he overpowered her.
So it is you. Shame on you.
The shame is Lorne's, old Mer. Now she'll have your death on her conscience, too.
No, Sorville. This is you and you alone.
Give my regards to my loving wife and Lorne's degenerate husband. I know you're watching, Lorne. Now that I've broken your spirit and you've broken your vow, come to the place where my wife is buried. There, I will break your body.
I need some air. I'll be outside. How could he blame me for this? Is it not enough that I lost my husband? Damn him! His wife was buried here. This is where we'll find him. You're sticking by my side. Even after I use that death memory ritual. I appreciate that, admin. Truly. I suppose I owe you a bit of an explanation. I told you how the ghost of the Green killed my husband. Sorville's wife, my husband's lover, was overcome with grief. I think she truly loved him. As soon as she heard the news, she climbed into the wash tub, opened her wrist, and died. Not for that, for what came after. Sorville wanted us to mend each other's wounds. Perhaps even fall in love and make a life together. I just couldn't. I focused on the work and pushed him away. He grew detached, bitter. Now I need to stop him. Come, let's put an end to this. Sorville, I know you're here. What do you want from me?
I've already taken so much. Your teacher, your honor, your pride. There's only one thing left for me to take. Your life.
Sorville. Don't worry about me. Go. We can't let Sorville escape again.
Ghost of the Green's final victim. Time to die, Admanen.
Somerville. Is he... He is. It's done then, isn't it? I knew he wouldn't come quietly. In the end, I bear the blame. A killer. Right beside me, and I didn't see it until more lives were lost. I'm glad you are here, Admanen. I will be. The arrow struck near my collarbone. Somerville was a gifted marksman. Maybe he couldn't see as well through the mask, or it was nerves. Or maybe he didn't really want me dead after all. Just one more question I'll never have answered. One more thing, if you're willing. I'm certain that Somerville never spoke to Kellan's parents, given that this was all his scheme to begin with. They lost their son, and they don't know why. It was you that avenged him. You should tell them that. I just need a moment here alone. Ironic that this came to a head in such a holy place. Maybe I can find some absolution here, or at least some small measure of peace. He did. Perhaps I deserved it. But all those people, an innocent girl, a naive young Mer, a dear friend. They paid the price, while I still live. I don't know if I'll ever make peace with that. You're right, I suppose. I just wish I had been better. A better Jurisreeve, a better wife, a better friend. Maybe I could have prevented all this. I'm sorry. Thank you for your kind words. I will try to take them to heart. You have my word.
He's my son. I deserve to know what's going on.
I don't. I am sorry. But the prosecution is still examining his body. We will release his remains to you as soon as we can.
You? I remember you. Please, you have to tell me what's going on. My son never came home. And now they tell me They won't even let me see him. What happened to my boy? If for his mercy, how could you? Why didn't you save him? Damn this place. Damn the prosecution. Here, take this thing. I found it under Kellan's bed. I never want to see it again. I never want to see you again. God's help me.
A hard thing to witness. There are rarely any happy endings in this line of work. You just have to remember that things would be much worse had you not been here. That matters.
You'd think I'd resent the way most of those high elves treat those of us they consider to be inferiors. Well, maybe I do. Let's just say they ought to check the straps on their saddles, if you catch my meaning. What can I help you with?